Right now, in one of the most critical choke points on the planet, two U.S. Navy destroyers are operating in waters that could turn hostile in seconds. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow stretch only about 21 miles wide at its tightest point, carries nearly a fifth of the world's oil. And now it's becoming a potential battlefield again. Recent reports confirm that U.S. warships have begun operations to deal with naval mines in the area. That might sound routine at first, but it's not. Not here, not now. Because this isn't just about clearing old explosives from the seabed. This is about reopening a vital artery of global trade while tensions with Iran are still simmering. And the big question hanging over everything is this: what happens if something goes wrong? The two destroyers currently operating in the area are the USS Michael Murphy and the USS Frank E. Petersen Jr., both Arleigh Burke-class ships, some of the most advanced surface combat vessels in the world. These ships are not small. We're talking about vessels roughly 510 feet long, displacing close to 9,000 tons, packed with Aegis radar systems, Tomahawk cruise missiles, SM-2 and SM-6 interceptors, and layered defensive weapons. They're designed for high-intensity warfare, air defense, missile interception, anti-submarine operations. But here's the catch: they're not built to clear mines directly. So why are they here? Their role is protection, coordination, and control. They act as command platforms, provide air cover, track potential threats, and make sure the slower, more vulnerable mine-clearing units can actually do their job. Because make no mistake, they are not alone out there. Iran has a long history of monitoring U.S. naval movements in this region. Fast attack craft, drones, coastal radar, everything is watching. So picture this for a moment: a U.S. destroyer moving slowly through a potentially mined channel, helicopters overhead, drones scanning below, and unknown forces observing every move. How quickly could that turn into something else? This is where things get more complex than most people realize. Mine clearing isn't one technique. It's a combination of methods layered together, and every single one of them carries risk. One of the most controlled methods is direct neutralization. This involves remotely operated systems like the Mine Neutralization Vehicle, essentially a small underwater robot equipped with cameras and a shaped charge. It moves in carefully, identifies the mine, places an explosive next to it, and then backs away before detonation. It's precise, it minimizes collateral damage, but it's slow. And while it's happening, the ship coordinating that operation is still in the area, still exposed. So you have to wonder how many mines could be cleared this way before the situation changes. Then there's aerial mine countermeasures. The U.S. Navy uses helicopters like the MH-53E Dragon, a massive aircraft specifically designed for this role. It tows specialized equipment through the water: sonar systems, magnetic sleds, acoustic generators. These systems either detect mines or trigger them from a safe distance. The advantage is speed. A helicopter can cover miles of water much faster than a ship or drone. But it's not perfect. Sea conditions matter, equipment can miss targets, and modern mines can be programmed to ignore certain signals. So even after a sweep, would you trust it completely? Some mines are anchored below the surface, connected to the seabed by a cable. To deal with these, specialized gear is dragged through the water to cut those cables. Once released, the mine floats to the surface, and that's when it becomes visible. From there, it can be destroyed, often with heavy machine guns, naval cannons, and controlled charges. It's a method that dates back decades, but it still works. The problem is, it only works on one type of mine, and modern minefields rarely rely on just one. Some of the most dangerous mines don't need contact at all. They detect changes in their environment: sound, pressure, magnetic fields. So instead of hunting them directly, you simulate a ship passing overhead. Special equipment creates those signatures, tricking the mine into detonating. It's efficient for clearing large areas quickly, but it's also unpredictable. What if a mine is programmed to wait, to ignore the first few signals? Now you're dealing with something that's not just reactive, but selective. Unmanned underwater vehicles are becoming central to modern mine warfare. They scan a seabed using high-resolution sonar, identify suspicious objects, and sometimes even carry charges to destroy them. They reduce the need for divers and keep crews at a safer distance, but they're not foolproof. Signal interference, complex underwater terrain, and heavy maritime traffic can all complicate their mission. In a place like the Strait of Hormuz, that complexity increases dramatically. Here's something a lot of people don't think about. Destroyers can also take part in the final step of mine clearance, destruction. If a mine is brought to the surface or detected visually, ships like the USS Michael Murphy or USS Frank E. Petersen Jr. can engage it directly, using machine guns, 25mm autocannons, and even their 5-inch naval gun. In some cases, small explosive rounds or controlled fire can neutralize floating mines safely from a distance. It's not the primary method, but it's fast, and sometimes speed is everything. Alongside the destroyers, the U.S. Navy has deployed Avenger-class mine countermeasure ships. These vessels are built specifically for this mission. They have non-magnetic hulls, advanced sonar, and the ability to deploy multiple drones and sweeping systems at once. They're slower, lightly armed, but in a minefield, they are absolutely essential. And they rely heavily on protection from larger ships, which is where those destroyers come in. This is where things could expand quickly. The Strait of Hormuz isn't just important to the United States, it's critical for Europe, Asia, and global energy markets. Countries like the United Kingdom, France, and even regional allies have experience in mine countermeasure operations. Some already operate similar ships. Some have worked alongside the U.S. in past operations in the Gulf. So the question becomes, if this situation escalates, will this turn into a multinational operation, or will the U.S. handle it alone? Because the stakes are global, not local. This is the scenario no one wants to see. Modern naval mines can detonate beneath a ship, creating a massive gas bubble that lifts the hull and then drops it. That stress can bend or even break the ship's structure. U.S. destroyers are built to survive damage. They have reinforced hulls, compartmentalization, advanced firefighting systems, and highly trained crews. In many cases, they could take a hit and stay afloat, but that doesn't mean they'd walk away. A serious mine strike could disable propulsion, flood multiple compartments, cause fires, and force evacuation. And in the worst-case scenario, it could sink. So think about that for a second. These ships are operating in waters where that threat is real, not theoretical. How close are they willing to get? What's happening right now in the Strait of Hormuz is a reminder of how fragile things can be. 2 destroyers, specialized mine hunters, helicopters, drones, and crews working in one of the most sensitive regions on Earth, all while tensions linger, all while the world depends on that narrow strip of water staying open. Because in a place like this, it doesn't take much. One mine, one miscalculation, and everything changes.